goal-scoring totals, and they come out of the Ivy League. And those teams have been playing Game 7 intensity lacrosse all season long.
Patriot League Coach of the Year, Ryan Poley. He credits so much of this team and their success to that first class, the class of 2017 that laid the culture for Boston University lacrosse. A new day for the Terrier, their first NCAA tournament appearance. Princeton, a mainstay, a fixture on the national stage through the 90s, the early part of the 2000s. They're hosting a playoff game for the first time since 2010. A couple of Long Island guys at the face-off X. Connor Calderon, Tyler Sandoval, and Princeton's got it early. Jake Stevens right off the wing, and the Tigers turn it over.
There are going to be a lot of turnovers in this game because both teams, guess what they do well? They cause turnovers well. Number 1 and number 2 ranked in the nation in caused turnovers. When they played in April, there were 46 giveaways.
Now Luke Crimmins jars that one loose, and it comes back to Princeton. So both teams turn it over on their first possession. And the Tigers get to work on offense. Coulter Mackesy, the freshman, 91 in white. He's been their top scorer the last 4 games. First midfield, Sam English, Christian Ronda, and Alex Verdaro. Alex Slusher now swings it over to English. Princeton's top scoring midi. He's able to draw the slide in this BU defense. It's a slide and recover defense. Mackesy, that pass hits the ground off the stick of Verdaro. Scooped up by English, still plenty of time to shoot. It's been raining a lot before the game. It's settled down. Here's Chris Brown. He had the 7 assists. He's a lefty. BU wants to force him to his right hand. And so far, turnover city. Boston University gets settled on attack. This is an attack trio. 3 Long Island kids. Vince D'Alto, Timmy Lay, and Lou Perfetto, number 8. All 3 have authored a 30-goal, 30-assist season.
This is the most productive attack unit in the country. Seriously, check it out. You can look up the stats. They got more points per game than Maryland, than Cornell, than Virginia, than anybody.
Ball on the ground, and Princeton scoops it up. So both teams have turned it over twice. And now Princeton trying to clear. It's Pedersen against this BU ride. Garber retreating into the goal. BU will unleash a 10-man ride. They're not afraid to give up an empty net goal here or there. Princeton, in fact, had one from midfield on a Crimmins shot in the regular season.
BU's a top 5 riding team in the country. And as you mentioned, this is a slide-happy, quick double-team defense where they pressure ball carriers and they'll play a zone kind of behind it. They want to get in your hands and take your eyes down.
Matt Garber in the cage for BU, Patriot League goalie of the year. English hesitated, fires and scores. Sam English, the highest scoring midfielder for Princeton, had 5 goals the last time out, and he's got the opening salvo of this NCAA tournament.
He was awesome in the Tigers season finale against the Big Red. Known for his speed and vision. Jab step left, gets to the top side. Straight dead center where his angle is the greatest. And BU, surprise, are slow to double team English, who continues his hot shooting.
14 in white is so dangerous off those face-off wings as Princeton has it again. Jake Stevens on the season, 20-plus goals, 60-plus ground balls now.
Stevens does his damage 2 ways, off the wings of face-offs into transition, and then he's a great player on the extra man.
A team-high 5 EMO goals. 1-0 Tigers. They work on offense again. Ronda with a little shake. Verdaro was matched up that time by 55 in red, Roy Meyer. Ronda on the invert. English can create from up top. Meyer all over him. A chance here. One more. Mackesy skips it wide. Mackesy has a lightning-quick lefty release, and that time BU will get the ball on a shot. The team that is closest to the ball when it goes out gets possession.
You got a glimpse of Princeton's passing. Number 4 ranked offense in the country. I love their people movement and the ball movement.
Crimmins jarred that one loose again. Corcoran will try to bring it across for BU. And Boston University turns it over again. They have yet to have a turnover, yet to have a possession not end in a turnover.
BU needs their midfielders to carry through the middle of the field with confidence.
In the regular season matchup, Quint, BU had 7 failed clears.
Princeton coming off a little bit 2-week break. They weren't in the Ivy League championship, so I thought the first 5 or 10 minutes of this game would be telling. Back-to-back losses and then some time off. I think it's done them well.
Losing down the stretch to Harvard and Cornell, gave up 37 goals in those two. English has his shot blocked.
You plug in that Harvard game in particular.
They'll reset the shot clock. Garber got a piece of it.
They were visibly tired in that loss to Harvard. Guys walking off the field after goals. The team kind of hit the wall late in the year.
Matt Madelon telling us while they were disappointed not to get into the Ivy League tournament, the rest has helped. Brown feeding Rondo, who goes upstairs. The junior from Greenwich makes it 2-0 Princeton. He struggled at times against better competition. That's a good sign for the Tigers.
Crisp ball movement. Tell you, this top 6 can really sling it. They've been awesome all week. Chris Brown had 7 assists the first time the Tigers played BU. He hooks up with Rhonda.
Want to manage COVID? Just
Vax, mask, test. Vax, mask, test.
pay for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Vax, mask, test.
Let's put COVID to rest.
The last time Princeton was in the NCAA tournament, 2012. The last time they hosted an NCAA tournament game, 2010. The last time they won an NCAA tournament game, you got to go back to 2009 when Bill Tierney was still the coach.
You see the incredible heritage here. Madelon in his 5th season. Multiple championships, all defined, a lot of close wins along the way, whether it was Andy Moe, Kevin Lowe, Ryan Boyle to BJ Prager.
That was the last championship for Princeton. Boyle to Prager was 2002, but Boyle was on the 2004 team. That was the last time they got to championship weekend.
Last playoff win,
Yeah.
what, 2009, I believe?
2009, the last playoff win. 2002, last championship. 2004, last championship weekend trip. Princeton has won every face-off. BU has not had a shot. And the Tigers looking to go up 3. Mackesy. Bardaro thought about it. Instead, the extra pass to Ronda.
Like the University of Maryland, what I like about Princeton here is the passing, balls in and out of sticks. The people are moving. They don't settle for bad shots. Very unselfish, and everyone can move and deliver strikes.
English drawing slides and finding Mackesy. What a great look on the wing. Now, Sam English is so good creating traffic in his area up top and finding other players. A lot of hockey assists from English, you'll see.
He's got elite feet.
Ronda going up top. English again. Draws the slide. Slusher over to Vardaro. Beats his man. Vardaro bounce shot. Score. 3-zip. Princeton. And Roy Meyer threw his stick in the air in frustration.
Tiger fans on their feet, they love it. Impressive patience, knowing the double team is coming. English dips in there, rolls back, moves it up top. Vardaro with the pump. And then the Jets. He is known for his outside shot. Here he varies it and takes it right to the rack. What Princeton has done really well so far in East is just dealing with those double teams. Know that when you push a crease against this BU defense, that they're likely to send the double team, get the ball out of your stick.
And Princeton, all 3 goals coming from that first midfield. Another face-off one. So the Tigers 4 for 4 at the X. BU has turned it over 3 times, 2 failed clears. Right now they're playing keep away, and they are just driving downhill at the Terriers. Brown, long pass to Mackesy.
Wow, that's an incredible pass. That is something else. Coach Madelon telling us that they see a lot of 10-man now in the Ivy League.
Yeah, everybody does it.
Led by Yale. But that's a brilliant diagonal pass.
Second midfield now for Princeton. Sean Cameron, number 11. We'll see his brother Brian tomorrow. He plays for Rutgers. Out there with Stevens and Tommy Barnes. Here is Barnes. He'll go at the shorty, Donnie Howard. Chris Brown now over to Cameron. Shot clock down to 15.
Yeah, this group's in no rush.
Brown had 7 assists last time, and good look there, just a little too much mustard upstairs. 13 passes on this trip downfield. Final seconds, Mackesy looking for Stevens, and Cameron forces one on goal. Garber's got it, and let's see if BU can run out.
Rather see you send that ball into the corner and be able to set up your ride.
This has been a problem just getting it across, and BU does. The Terriers looking for their first shot on goal, and we'll watch the matchups here. In that first meeting, Quint, Princeton put its best defender, George Bond, on Lou Perfetto, and Perfetto did not have a point for the first time in his career.
Look, the book on defending BU is make it an athletic contest. Press out and make them score on assisted goals.
Tommy Burke's pass goes awry. Another turnover for BU.
BU's been a great passing team themselves. Their attack capitalizes, but they lack downhill dodgers, guys with a great burst or great speed.
10-man ride now from BU, goalie out of the cage. And we're going to get a flag against BU. Shot downfield. I guess that'll be a pass, and we'll get the flag.
Princeton's doing a nice job on the clear to bring your midfielders back and support.
1 minute. Red 19/1 minute.
Timmy Lay to the sin bin.
This can't happen. These type of fouls in a playoff game are going to cost you big time. Break down, get under control. Clearly, he whacks English in the helmet.
So a 1 minute man up for Princeton, 49% on the extra man. And Stevens, 14 in white. 5 EMO goals, the team high.
BU shutting off Brown, top right of your screen.
Vardaro over to Mackesy. Slusher now. Yeah, essentially a 5-on-4. Vardaro over to Mackesy. Poked loose. Vardaro met with authority. Yard sale. Comes back to Brown momentarily, and BU's got it.
This is big for BU. They need juice.
They don't have a shot on goal yet.
They had numbers and bypassed it.
Now they had a man down, and it looks like they're going to wait to get to even strength. Vince D'Alto, number 11.
They had a clear 4-on-3 there with the ball carrier, plus the trailer.
Back to even. Eric Peters in goal for Princeton struggled his last 2 times out. Has not faced a shot yet. Here's Niederinghaus. Nothing on that one. The 6 6'3" junior from St. Louis.
To Peter's defense, the defense has been lacking in those games. They've been giving up layups.
Here's Perfetto. Bond checks him. Bond dominated that matchup in April. Bork down the alley, shot saved Peters.
Nice one.
Bork.
See him move his feet, Anish? Beautiful.
Bork was 0 for 10 shooting in that April 9th game. Of note, BU lost its top midfielder, Jake Cates, to a season-ending torn ACL in that game. Bork took on a bigger role in that game, struggled, but it helped him in the finishing stretch of the season.
Spent some time with Jake Cates pre-game. Scheduled to have surgery on May 27th.
Vardaro out of the box. Princeton continues to spin it, head on a swivel.
Talked about BU seniors, just continual reinvestment, stepping up each year. Player-led, where maybe 4 or 5 years ago it was more coach-led.
McAsee, wing dodge. His pass knocked down. It's picked up by Trey Brown.
Stick in the passing lanes. That's what BU does. Lead the nation in cause turnovers. They're aggressive on ball. They send the double teams and air traffic control in the lanes.
Now here we are. There's 3.5 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Boston University has just 2 shots and just 1 on goal. It took them 10 minutes to get their first shot. That's another one. Whips wide.
If you watch this Princeton defense lately on tape, the way opponents have had success against them is attacking from behind. Initiate with your attack.
They'll try with Perfetto, the quarterback of this offense. Bond, one of the best defenders in the Ivy, all over him. Here's Matt Bogger, senior. He's a lefty. Down the alley. Tommy Jepson now part of that second midfield. Shaded by Pace Billings.
Perfetto, 8 in red, and Vince D'Alto, 11 in red. They have to win their matchups.
They have to.
And if they're not winning their matchups, you got to send picks.
Here comes D'Alto. Around the bend, met with authority. His pass for Jepson hits the ground. It's picked up by Bond. He's comfortable on this end of the field. And Princeton a chance for an unsettled opportunity. It's Brown to Slusher. All Tigers.
That's nice. That is living right for the Tigers. Stout defense. Ball's on the carpet, and they take off. Smart passing as well. Bond one more across. You see Brown carries. His eyes are up. Slusher with the layup. That's a team goal. That goes a long way for their mojo.
It has not been a fair fight so far. All Princeton, the 5 seed. The Tigers near the top of the polls most of the season. And BU, again, nothing. They have not won a face-off. They have been outshot by a wide margin and already down 4-0. And Princeton looking for one more. A rude awakening to this NCAA tournament for the Patriot League champions. Now you think of the Patriot League this year. Loyola was coming off a quarterfinal appearance. Lehigh, an NCAA tournament team last year. Army had Brendan Nichtern, one of the best players in the country, and it was BU. 7-1 in the regular season. They lose their top midfielder. Hit reset after a Princeton loss, and they come back to win the Patriot League tournament. Cameron, saved by Garber.
It's a nice little pattern by Princeton.
Can they clear? Robert Gallup looking to get it across. That turf is wet. It rained. Princeton gets it back. Another failed clear. McAsee. Yeah, Q, you get the sense if BU doesn't regroup after this first quarter, this game can get out of hand.
It feels like BU is clearing up Heartbreak Hill.
Yeah. Three of the 4 Princeton goals by its first midfield, including one by Vardaro. Errant pass Dane DeGoler picks it up. Gallup across the timeline. Now D'Alto. Ryan Poley said D'Alto won't have George Bond on him. If D'Alto can win his matchup, that gives BU a great chance.
D'Alto's a high-volume shooter from Northport. I like his right-handed jump shot. When he operates from behind, he'll come up the tangent.
20 seconds to go, opening quarter. Quadrino's got a burst. Matched by Pedersen.
Quick lefty.
They know he's going to go back to the left. 5 seconds. Quadrino, no angle. 1.3 seconds to go. Opening quarter. Dominated by the Tigers. 4-0 Princeton after one. BU only had 3 shots in the first 15 minutes. Only 1 on goal.
Tigers have shaken off that late season swoon. The week off has done them well. They're excited, great energy, they're sharp, and they've been dominant.
Great news! Children's Hospital Philadelphia now has a second hospital in King of Prussia. For you, and for you. Our new
Princeton won the regular season matchup against Boston University 12-7. This was a 5-5 game midway through the third quarter. Then the Tigers closed on a 7-2 run. Quint, you mentioned Boston University has the highest scoring attack in the nation, more than 13 points per game. A season low 4 points against Princeton. BU shot 7 for 43, worst shooting game of the season for the Terriers.
When you talked to Ryan Poley before this game, he said Princeton's defense, they won the one-on-one matchups. He needs his attack to do better today. He also mentioned that Chris Brown, Tiger, had 7 assists. They want to force him to his right hand. And then they're really worried about Jake Stevens off face-off transition, 14 in white. Takes it right off the draw, can go coast to coast.
Face-off violation on BU. Princeton has won every face-off.
That's where this thing starts, right? Every game starts with face-offs and ground balls. If you're getting dusted in the ground ball department, nothing else really matters.
Princeton +8 in ground balls in that first quarter. The Terriers committed 7 turnovers. BU played 3 teams from the Ivy this season. All of them losses. And they shot 22% in those games. Garber with a big save. Meyer wins the race to the sideline. Boston University ball.
Nice save by Matt Garber, the big righty out of Westport, Connecticut. He played at Staples High School. First team All-Patriot, known for his witty one-liners. 54% on the season.
A 4-year starter. BU looking for its first goal. Quick feed, it's not there, dropped. Jet Jama, who's a short stick D midi. Brother Matt won a title at Virginia in 2019.
That's an ugly one-and-done possession by BU. I mean, they didn't even get a good look. What I like about this Princeton offense this year when you watch them in person and on tape is the ball reversal. They swing it pretty good. So it'll go from one side of the field, they get the defense to overcommit, and they attack the weak side.
Short stick matchup for English. Mackesy coming around the edge. Didn't have the ball. Clearing has been a challenge today. Meyer, 54 caused turnovers this year, 55 in red. An army of 1.
He is something else. Junior from Long Beach, played at Chaminade, turns 21 next week. They call him the Candy Man. Mountain Dew and pizza, right?
Mountain Dew, pizza, and candy.
His stat line is hard to believe, Anish.
Yeah, this is a tough matchup here for Perfetto. Bond stays with him stride for stride. Tried to dislodge it. And we'll get a timeout from BU. I like that timeout from Ryan Poley.
BU has got to start using picks to free up some of their ball handlers.
Princeton winning every one-on-one matchup so far.
Want to manage COVID? Just
Mask test. Vax mask test.
pay for Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Vax mask test.
Let's put COVID to rest.
Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
Ninth season of lacrosse for Boston University, established 2014. They had been knocking on the door for a few years in the Patriot League, getting to the conference tournament. Remember, they had Chris Gray a few years ago before he transferred out to North Carolina. They get their first Patriot League title, first NCAA tournament appearance, and Ryan Poley has seen it all. He was telling us when this thing started, they had to have a vision before they even had offices and a locker room.
It's been tremendous, and it started with a club and then went D1. Credit to the alums and the families of so many classes of players starting in 2014. They've gradually built a championship culture, and it's been a real success story for D1 lacrosse.
We're going to get another flag on BU.
That's a nightmare scenario. When you're an offensive coordinator, Mike Salippo does great work. They call a timeout, you set something up, and within 10 seconds, you turn it over and draw a flag. I mean, right now, the wheels are off the bus.
And 9 turnovers for BU to 4 shots. Princeton +9 in ground balls already. Free possession here for the Tigers. Brown to Slusher, save Garber, and Princeton will go man up.
Guys on red 19/1 minute. Red 19/1 minute.
That's 2 penalties on Timmy Lay.
Good look at Garber. Here's the penalty on Lay. Again, he's trailing this play, and he's just sloppy. Nothing good happens when you're out of control. This is a dangerous and scary unit, Anish, because of their balance. You got Vardaro, who's a primetime outside threat. You got a nice combination of lefties and righties and an unselfish mindset. Shutting off Brown again. Now he's behind the goal.
Here's English. He started the scoring. Slusher's got 1, so does Vardaro.
Yeah, look how relaxed and confident this group looks.
Stevens lost it. English keeps it in bounds. Met by Patrick Morrison. And there's Morrison, first team All-Patriot League. Loose ball push against Princeton. BU ball, a break for the Terriers.
You know, a comeback's going to start with little positives, okay? Winning a face-off, winning a ground ball scrum, beating your man and drawing a double team. Like, a spark can start anywhere.
And that can you clear? Have to get it across midfield before the shot clock hits 60. They do. Nick McFarland over to D'Alto. This has been the challenge in the half field. Where's the matchup BU can win?
Well, Timmy Lay, their leading goal scorer, he's an inside crease player. So it's going to be Louis Perfetto or D'Alto. That's 8 and 11. The weakness, or what teams have capitalized on Princeton lately, is taking some of their poles to the net, not named George Bond.
Roberts picks up D'Alto.
It's nice.
House.
Great D at the corner right there.
Here's Tommy Bork. 5 goals in the Patriot League tournament, and Tommy Bork with BU's first NCAA tournament goal in program history. And the Terriers have entered the chat.
Sophomore from Jersey had the game winner against Lehigh in the Patriot League. Last time against Princeton, he shot 0 for 10. Not the case today. This is exactly what they're going to need to do. Look how hesitant Princeton was to send the double team. This is mano on mano, man-on-man lacrosse. You've got to beat your man with confidence and know that you got to score an unassisted goal. The double team is not coming.
You said it. You're looking for that small spark. It started with Morrison causing the turnover near the sideline. You get that loose ball push against Princeton, but the Tigers continue to dominate the face-off X. 7 for 7 now.
Scary thing about Princeton, Anish, is they roll this first midfield out. Again, they caught a break today, cooler temperatures.
Yeah. A lot of rain before the game. English had the shorty, now Mackesy. Rhonda, good defense by Donnie Howard. English against DeGoler. Goes top shelf as he gets underneath the defender.
He's from Canada via Culver in Indiana. He played defensive midfield last year. He's a junior now. He's had such an impact in the middle of the field in terms of his speed, his clearing, and he's hot. He's a right-handed catalyst, able to deal with the defensive pressure, the subtle level change. It's a hip release to an upper location. He had 5 against Cornell, and he is rolling in the postseason.
Yeah, he's had some big games. At 4 against Maryland, a hat trick against Georgetown. Sandoval wins the faceoff, feeds the wing. Slusher, one more. Mackesy! So BU scores, Princeton answers in 48 seconds, and then 6 seconds later, it's Mackesy, and it's 6-1. So much for any BU momentum.
Make it, take it, buy one, get one free. Out the front side for Sandoval, the sophomore from Chaminade. Tigers are just sub 50% in the face-off department. You would never guess that watching this game today. Right-handed jump shot by Mackesy.
Sandoval and Calderon at the face-off X, and finally BU wins one. Those two know each other well. Long Island guys, they've competed against each other a lot growing up. Meyer withstands the contact. D'Alto swam through the defense, then played it back. Had a lane to run.
BU still trying to find some midfield offense. When Jake Cates got towards ACL in this Princeton game, their ability to isolate from up top and draw slides has been seriously compromised.
Matt Bogger lost his stick, able to recover his stick. Big ground ball, we get contact. It's a hold against Princeton.
Pedersen, monster, 23 in white.
6'3", Park City, Utah. How about what he did when Princeton didn't have a season last year? Had a bunch of the guys come stay with him and his family in Park City, Utah.
That's
worked out together.
It's the untold of the Ivy in 2020 and 21. It's the pods or pockets that popped up. Princeton had a group in Austin, Texas. They had a group in Park City training, living together, working. I know Yale had groups down in Atlanta.
The Ivy League did not have a season last year. and they returned with fury this year. 6 teams in the NCAA tournament. The league, as deep as it's ever been. We've seen the return to prominence of a Princeton, Yale, and Penn. Yeah, we expected them to get this far. Cornell's got a young team, a new coach, Connor Busick. He was the Ivy Coach of the Year in Harvard with Jerry Byrne. That's a young team, and it is so hard to win these days with youth when other teams have extra years and more eligibility. That's a freshman-led Harvard team we'll see tomorrow against Rutgers.
One thing I do know about the Ivies, incredible track record out of conference this year. Okay, they went 39-10. They won a bunch of those games by 1 goal. But I will tell you,
they still won them.
Uncommon emotion and fury and passion that they brought to the table. Many feel because they had a season taken away from them. It just meant more for the Ivy teams this year. And I'll tell you one thing about the Ivies also. They can score. And so they're dangerous in the shot clock era.
Shot clock now down to 7. Here's Brown. Over to Mackesy. Cranks too high. 6-1. Princeton has dominated this game. Looking for its first NCAA tournament win since 2009 when Bill Tierney, who built this program, was still the head coach.
Mark Kovler dicing people from distance on the outside with his beautiful left-handed release. He's a surgeon now.
It's been a while. Chance here for BU. Jet Jama chased back by Pace Billings. Perfetto offline.
I tell you, when the train goes off the tracks in the tournament, it's most important, as Princeton calls timeout, it's most important to come back to your identity as a team, okay? If someone's watching BU for the first time today, they need to see the version of this team that I've seen all season long. That is playing with their hair on fire, causing turnovers, a productive attack, a really well-coached doubling defensive scheme. Stick to your identity.
We are just getting started with this year's NCAA tournament. First game of the first round. Looking at the top half of the bracket, the winner of Princeton BU takes on the Yale St. Joe's winner. That'll be on Long Island. Look at the top of the bracket. I tell you what, Maryland for the #1 seed, for being undefeated, for having this season, the tourney does them no favor in terms of how the bracketing works. Vermont's one of the hottest teams in the country. They have been railroading people, and then a potential quarterfinal matchup against Virginia, who's the 2-time defending champion. Virginia still has to go on the road in what's going to be a rowdy atmosphere at Stevenson up there in Providence.
As Lars Tiffany said, the fans will be fully lubricated before face-off.
Did you see what Lars did? He brought in 30, 40 people just to heckle his team.
He had students come and heckle practice. Hey, Coach Tiffany, if you won some championships at Brown, you'd still be here.
That's right. NCAA men's lacrosse coverage continues next weekend. It's the quarterfinals. Quint Kark and I will be on Long Island in Hempstead. Chris Cotter, Matt Ward, and we get Katie George with us in Columbus, Ohio for the other quarterfinals. For more information on the 2022 Men's Lacrosse Championship, visit NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Anish Rapp, Quint Kesnick. Listen, Maryland is far and away the heavy favorite. They have been a juggernaut all season in this tournament. Georgetown, as that #2 seed, they have been building toward this defensively and in goal and in the middle of the field. They're as strong as anybody.
Georgetown is a legitimate #2 because of their defense and their specialists. James Riley winning faceoffs at a 64% clip. Goalie Owen McElroy saving at nearly the same clip. I think you look at the rest of the field, Ivy-driven, great success stories, offensive teams who can score. At the end of the day, when you look at the bracket, who do you trust?
BU gets one back. It's Quadrino. You mentioned he's a lefty Dodger who can win that one-on-one matchup, and both BU goals have come from the midfield off individual dodges.
He flashes. Christian Quadrino, Sachem North, an absolute left-handed water bug. teams have to decide, do we pull him? Well, he runs by his defensive man easily. Again, no double team by Princeton. They're leaving their midfielders on an island quadrino with confidence. Shot on the run, difficult for Peters to find that ball out of a moving target.
And if you're BU, listen, it's still only a 4-goal game, as lopsided as it may seem. There is an opening to get back here.
It's a great point. And again, it starts with the little plays, winning a face-off, executing out of a timeout, clearing the ball, maximizing your opportunities. And again, worry less about winning and losing, worry about staying true to who you are.
Here's James Corcoran, 5 goals on the season. 3 came in the Patriot League tournament. And this has been a snapshot of the game for BU. Sloppy play. Will this be a turnover? No, Hilburn, the senior captain, picks it up, has his stick knocked out of his hands. That's Roberts.
A lot of yard sales here in Central Jersey on a Saturday, huh?
Flea market is open. There comes Jepson. Met by Andrew Song, the top LSM. And the backup to Timmy Lay.
Song getting into the body pretty well. A lot of experience. Played for Team China in Netanya.
Lay's got a lot of different shots. He can go behind the back. He draws the flag on Roberts. So BU with a man-up chance, a free possession here. And another flag, so it'll be 6-on-4. Bounce shot that time is stopped by Roberts, and 2 different penalties coming on Princeton here. And this is a chance. This is a real opening.
Opportunity knocks here. You know, possession leads to this. You know, possession.
Got to have the ball.
Possession really enhances. And it's you're finally making Princeton play some defense.
Slash 1 minute. Second one is on white. 3-1 slash 1 minute 60.
Excellent crew today working this game. Congratulations to all the men in stripes who are working NCAA tournament games.
Thomas Holand, Doug Donovan, Dan Belk, our officials today.
Best of the best throughout this 3-week event.
6-on-4 now for BU. Cates, who's out for the season, was their best man-up option. They're 4 for 12 on the extra man since Cates got hurt.
Princeton D in a box formation.
6-on-4, an unforced error. There is no excuse for that.
We'll get to see what English can do as he handles here. He's a road runner.
There was no pressure there. Quinn, I mean, those are the mistakes. With these stakes and in this setting, you just can't have.
BU goes to their 10-man, even up 2.
Now they might have a chance here. Floating one downfield. Brown's got it. Garber retreats to the cage.
Tell you, that's really nice.
And Princeton's got a chance to run this out.
People, you know, will talk about Sam English. Is he an All-American caliber player with 24 goals and 17 assists? But that subtle clearing play, the ability to run away from pressure, look downfield.
Princeton offside, so BU still has a 6-on-4 for 20 seconds.
They're subbing off, and the penalty's going to
they're not going to have time
wash
here.
away to nothing.
You talk about a wasted opportunity, 6-on-4. Can they get something? Force that one from the outside. That was Bogger. The backup for Lay. 2 seconds left on this 2-man advantage. It's not there, off the pipe.
Ooh, wow!
Big hit. D'Alto gets crushed. Another flag. Hang on.
Pedersen got him up high. I can't remember when Princeton had a defensive midfielder like Bo Pedersen. 6'3", 205.
I have white. 2-3. Illegal body check. 1 minute. We lock him in. It goes to 80. It was high. It was high.
No parole.
And you heard it was high. So above the shoulders, that means 1 minute non-releasable. BU, even if they score in the first 30 seconds, will be man up for the entire minute. Another opportunity here for the Terriers.
Left elbow, no doubt. think his intention, he did a decent job swiveling his hips and turning sideways so he didn't cross-check him, Anish, but the follow-through with the elbow was just too high. He's got to match hips, match shoulder levels. So if you're the bigger man, you've got to bend your knees and get down.
Yeah, nice job by the officials here. Things getting chippy, some hard hits, keeping things under control.
Let's see if Peters, the goaltender, has some answers here. He loves the high arc.
Lay's got 3 man-up goals. Clock issue. Shot clock never started.
A humid afternoon, probably had a sticky finger on the shot clock.
And we figured it out so far. If BU has any chance today, you're going to have to take advantage of man-up situations, unsettled sets. In the 6-on-6, it has not been a fair fight.
BU has not been able to win a matchup on the perimeter.
There's Perfetto, MVP of the Patriot League tournament. This attack without a point so far, feeding the crease. It's not there for D'Alto. Vaughn picked him up. Lay the behind-the-back pass. Bogger from the outside, shot blocked. Surprised he took it from there. Now Perfetto. He'll quarterback the offense. Looking to feed inside. It's picked off by Vaughn. Another turnover by BU.
Tell you, the senior from PA.
It's 11.
17 in white. One of the top defenders in the entire Ivy League. Causing turnovers, getting ground balls. And he has done it in the classroom. 3.8 GPA, a special student athlete.
Yeah, he's enrolled in Princeton School of Public and International Affairs. How about this for his senior thesis topic? The global war on terror and 9/11 and the impact it had in China. This is a guy who's presented papers to the State Department, to White House officials, and to the Council on Foreign Relations. Student athlete.
That's what's great about this sport. Playing a ball game today, I tell you that much. He's been really active down below. His stick's been in the passing lanes. He's been efficient on the grounders. You know, he's got to keep it simple style, but look at him. Got the quick hands and the smoothness then to snake his way out of traffic. It seems like George has been playing for Princeton. You know, when he burst on the scene, he was a starter right from day one.
First team All-Ivy, a senior captain, one of 5 captains for Princeton. And at this BU offense, we lauded the prolific attack, the Long Island Express, 3 Long Island kids. It's been the local so far. They have not been able to get going. A lot of that starts with 17 in white. Coming up after us, Richmond and Penn. Penn looked incredible, except for 1 quarter in the Ivy League tournament that we did last week. St. Joe's with an elite face-off man. That's a team that almost beat Penn just last month. Virginia and Brown, Lars Tiffany, going back to coach his Virginia team against his alma mater, against a Brown team that he led to a Final Four in 2016. Virginia, the 2-time defending champions, looking to three-peat, something no one's done since Princeton from 96 to 98.
It is fascinating and exciting to see a tournament with new names and new faces. I expect some chaos. Embrace that chaos.
Another flag, this time it's coming on BU.
My biggest question mark about Penn later today is their health.
Yeah, they got banged up in that Ivy championship.
Starting attackman Tynan Walsh will be out, leg injury. Got some questions with Lavelle, their close defense. James Shipley did not play in the Ivy League championship game.
Slusher misses wide, and Richmond has played a heavyweight schedule. They have beaten Virginia. The SoCon was loaded this year. They played Jacksonville twice.
30. coach. No, they got up and he got up on.
The hold on Carson. They played High Point twice. This is a Richmond team that is battle tested. It would not surprise me one bit if the Spiders not only win this weekend, but maybe even win 2 in this tournament.
Dan Chamotti's done a wonderful job, like Ryan Poley. Okay, there's the programs. There's certain parallels between Richmond going D1, making I believe their 4th NCAA tournament this season
in 9 years.
The Terriers of BU appearing in their first postseason this season after starting in 2014. So it's all good. It's a new world, and it's opportunity.
And the mainstays are all at home. Hopkins, Syracuse, North Carolina. Those are blue bloods. May fixtures like Duke and Notre Dame. The committee didn't look their way on Selection Sunday. They're home. We've got Princeton back in the tournament for the first time in a decade. Harvard, first trip since 2014. Brown back for the first time since that champ weekend appearance in 2016. Mackesy misses wide.
Shot clock at 18 now. 1:21 to go before halftime. You want to finish this half on a positive. It's a key in playoff games, is to win the last minute of each quarter.
Here comes Brown. Skip pass, got it through. English, he's got 2 goals. Looking to get to the right hand. Meyer knocks it loose. Slusher sandwiched. Shot clock expires. BU's got a quick restart here. Roy Meyer, chaos agent. What was the Paulie Walnuts line? It's mayhem.
Havoc creator, terrific ball skills.
Here's Pedersen as BU gives it right back.
The Tigers want to end this quarter with the ball here.
Flag down. BU's got 6 on its side. I didn't see any offsides. 25 seconds to go. And remember, if Princeton has possession, then you get the penalty. No face-off to begin the third quarter. Looks like they may hold unless they get something they really like. Mackesy passed up on that shot. That tells you a lot. 5 seconds, and now the Princeton bench saying hold, hold. Slusher
went a little rogue there.
He went rogue.
The communication from the sideline never made it to the far side of the field.
So now no possession established when the half ends. We will have a face-off to begin the third. It will be a 3-on-2, though, when they face off. So we'll get the penalty.
Fans basically playing for another week with your friends.
52 Stadium, shared field. Sam English, 2 goals. Here's Slusher. Mackesy cranks a little too high. He's had some looks in this game. Again, freshman, first playoff game. Feet in front, Stevens hits the crossbar. And BU will get the ball.
Good adjustment by the official, initially not seeing that the penalty was released from the penalty box. The BU player snuck up behind the official and was closest to the ball when it went out. So excellent adjustment on the fly.
He camouflaged in with the sea of red on the BU sideline.
I love this field, no football lines.
Class of 1952 Stadium, shared field. Princeton's won so many big games in the tournament here. Another turnover for BU, that's 13. English to Pedersen. Over to the wing, Brown shoots low. And the backup belongs to Alex Slusher. 5 and white, part of this Oregon Trail in college lacrosse that has given us some superstars, including one we'll see later in Sam Handley.
And what we'll see tomorrow in Ross Scott.
Yeah.
The super shifty attackman for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Be interesting to see how Yursak The grass field at Rutgers holds up to this rain that we were receiving today.
Verdaro, left hand, save Garber.
Oh, look up. He had a man top left.
That's one thing we have not seen. BU's transition game, offense and defense, has been completely neutralized today.
Their DNA has been causing turnovers. They lead the country in caused turnovers, and that's given them some opportunistic runouts. They've been content to play in the half court today, where their midfielders, other than a Christian Quadrino and a Tommy Bork isolation goals, it's been no dice for this offense. Let's see what they put together at halftime. Ultimately, I want to attack this Princeton team from behind the net, and I want to throw some picks, some two-man games at them.
Umbrellas out, rain coming down again. Here's Tommy Bork. He's got one of the 2 goals. Peters the save and clamps down.
Nice job by Peters, who started off the season.
Crimmins downfield. Mackesy pumps the brakes.
Don't think there was a hotter goalie in the country in February and March than Eric Peters. 21 saves against Rutgers. Big win here at home. 17 against Georgetown in that signature Tiger win. And he even had 19 against Maryland.
And he was 63% in those 3 games. Peters 7 out of 9 today. English to Verdaro, plays it to the wing, and Brown. 2 assists today for Brown. Had 7 against BU last time. Brown 1 goal away from number 100. Instead of pass, Slusher on the doorstep, dives in the crease. Does the goal count? There is a flag down. Did he land in the goal mouth? That's the question. The goal is good. Penalty waved off.
I'll tell you, this is nice by both Brown and Slusher.
Foul, push, wiped out, goal's good.
With conviction, Chris Brown, the big lefty, 6'2", leans in and draws the double team. He pays the price. Slusher gets underneath and dives to the tangent of that goal line, that inner cone. Good call by the officials. He did stay out of the crease and then out of the inner cone. Slusher can do it all. Portland, Oregon junior, 41 goals. Make that 42 now.
43. He has 2 today.
He's a below goal line extended type attackman in high school, now playing a midfield role.
Stevens, who's an energizer bunny, diving attempt by Mackesy, keeps it in bounds. It's picked up by Carson. He hits the turf. Garber out of the cage, Slusher all over him.
Penn riding like banshees.
Terriers have to get it across midfield before the shot clock hits 60. And they do with Morrison off the feet from DeGoler. This BU attack, the highest scoring attack trio in the country, without a point so far.
They averaged 13.3 points per game. Okay, more than Maryland, more than Cornell, more than Virginia.
They've got double sewer water bagels today. And by the way, sewer water bagels in Jersey, the best. Had some yesterday.
Is that why the pizza dough here is so good?
Mario's in Bloomfield yesterday, followed by a trip to Holstein's for ice cream. Bounce shot, save Peters, his 8th. Rebound loose.
Rebounds are big. Rebounds are big.
Peters out of the cage. He's got it, dumps it back to Bond, and now the clear.
That's nice by Peters.
Crimmins fires downfield and just missed the empty net. He scored from beyond midfield on an empty net against BU back in April.
That was a 60-yard attempt. Crimmins stuck one from 60 and the same goal, but on the opposite side of the field in that 12-7 Tiger win.
We see more and more teams doing that because it is a shot. And so if you have the backup, you still get possession.
Here's the mindset. Consider that open goal your 11th teammate.
Yep. Seven to 2 Princeton. Verdaro down the alley. Slusher at the shorty. Mackesy wanted it, couldn't catch it clean. Brown draws the slide. Fire from up top. That's Rhonda. Shot clock resets. It'll stay with Princeton. Last touch, Morrison.
You know, I'd love to see.
Will that count? It will. It looked like there was a whistle. Did you hear a whistle?
I think it was a delay. And I was going to say, I want to see stats on reset shot clock and what the percentage of goals scored after that initial reset of the shot clock, whether for a defensive turnover or goalie rebound, because defense is now dealing with burnt legs, fatigue, communication breakdown, and off the restart. Jubilant fans, man, they've got great turnout here. You can see that this Princeton team is beloved by the student body here on campus.
Calderon went early, face-off violation on BU. 4 assists now for Chris Brown. And that's 11 in 2 games against BU. 2 goals for Rhonda. And Rhonda has been the 6th option offensively, so Princeton getting a lot of production today from that midfield. There's Tommy Barnes.
This second group is in to deliver body punches, just to tire the defense out. It's an old school second midfield where they're going to possess and go deep into the shot clock. You'll see the attack or generate most of the initiation when the second midfield's in.
Stevens, Atkinson, Barnes, the second midfield now. Stevens can score. He's got 20-plus goals. A lot of it comes in transition off face-off wins.
That was a nice look by Brown, man. His passing, Anish, has gone through the roof. He had from 2018 and 19.
He had 37 career assists coming into the season. He's got 37, now 38 this season.
In high school, Fairfield Prep and the Ellipse Club, he was a goal line extended or behind player, but he gets to Princeton, and guess who's here? Michael Sowers. And so what are you going to do if you want to play attack with Michael Sowers?
Move off ball.
You're going to roam around in the slot and give him a target and score a lot of goals.
There's Niederinghaus. He's come on of late. 10 goals on the season. Good matchup with Pedersen. A couple of big guys, 6'3".
I mean, Michael Sowers, what he did in that 2020 season, the beginning of the year with Robertson and Brown and the spaghetti offense in front of the goal, it was destruction. It was beautiful.
Here's a look. Tommy Bork, his second, and it's 8-3.
Turney Tommy. He's got a pair. He was the hero. One of the heroes in that Patriot League tourney win over Lehigh. Sophomore Jersey native. Downhill, right-handed, snap it, top shelf. BU has life.
Want to manage COVID? Just
Mask test.
We are set up for arguably the greatest season of professional lacrosse history.
We're in this together for 48 minutes.
To finish and beat them.
We had the PLL draft on Tuesday. Chris Cotter, Ryan Boyle, Paul Carcaterra holding it down. Logan Wisnauskas going number 1 overall to Chrome. Chris Gray was the 2nd overall pick. And now these are the PLL draft picks that we will see this weekend and for some further along in this NCAA tournament.
I watched on Tuesday night. My daughter got in the car. Daddy, what are you watching? I said, this is important stuff, Grace. This is work. Congratulations to all those who got drafted. To seniors who didn't, like Gibson Smith of Georgetown, like Luke Frankeny of Richmond, you got an opportunity this weekend and maybe next and down the line to get yourself into a camp, because I think there's more than a handful of graduating seniors, Anish, who can play in that league.
That was clear as day. Loose ball push on Boston University, so Princeton ball.
I thought the banter between Ryan Boyle and Paul Carcaterra was awesome.
Riveting a couple of times, contentious. I liked it. Good TV.
And I thought the selection of all sorts of Maryland Terrapins might have been a little over the top. Okay, you take good players from a great team and expect them to be great. I don't know. I see Maryland as an assortment of parts, the stacking of good players into a great team, and historic team. Just not sure of some of those draft
You can't
picks.
play without equipment.
Learned that last year. They should maintain possession. BU needs a run, okay? Again, winning matchups on the perimeter, one-on-one. Look, as this ball carrier is just getting stalked.
Matt Hilburn, the senior captain.
Look at Princeton, press out.
Princeton's not ceding an inch. They have completely stymied this attack. D'Alto, the team's leading scorer. Quiet as a cat mouse today.
So interesting how lacrosse defenses at the high school level have gotten into the sliding business as a flag is down.
Flag coming on Cahal Roberts, the Irishman.
Oh, he's going to get another
flag.
one for a little pitchfork. He hooked him down to the turf. But at high levels of the playoffs in recent years, we've seen defenses go to no-slide defenses, as if to say, you know what? We're not going to get your passing's too good. We'll just make this a one-on-one game. Princeton and Madeline.
White, 2-6, cross-check, 1 minute, and a hold as well for 30 seconds. We got 60. Minute and a half.
To their credit, the Tigers playing more personnel today on defense than they had during the bulk of the regular season. There's no question that fatigue was a factor in their collapse at Harvard. They were gassed, they hit the wall, and they've made the adjustment, play more people.
Yeah, we've seen Cahal Roberts, we've seen Jacob Stabner, along with Ben Finley, Colin Mulshine. George Bond even got a breather for a shift.
Princeton with 5 defenders. It should be a one-man up. BU's got to find some magic with this group.
We're just waiting for it to put on the board.
Princeton puts their shorty on the inside, Pedersen. And that frees up Bond to play on the perimeter. He's got a good wingspan and an active stick, 17 in white.
Perfetto will trigger on the far side. Bogger, 71 in red, has a couple of man-up goals. D'Alto thought about it. Perfetto up top. Ball is jarred loose and comes back to Peters.
Look, if you're going to win a playoff game, you're going to have to play your A game, whoever you are, okay? It's less about your opponent and it's more about controlling your own business. If you play an A game, every team in this bracket can win. If you play a B- or C+, Anish, you got no shot, okay? It's more about you playing up to expectation than it's about the matchup with your opponent.
And how many missed opportunities with the extra man have we seen? BU had a 6-on-4 earlier.
Well, both teams have been
turned it over. Yeah.
That's the one area where the time off may not have benefited Princeton. Extra man is such a rhythm and flow group. You take time away and you kind of lose that continuity.
I mean, this was essentially with the 2 penalties stacked back-to-back. That was a 90-second man up. And Princeton's got the ball. Turnovers continue to plague BU. 13 in the game. 14 now.
Well, Princeton's too smart and too hungry to not take advantage of this opportunity. This team's come a long way to get to today.
Remember when that 2020 season ended, Princeton was the number 3 team in the country. Then Michael Sowers left for Duke. Slusher scores. Hat trick, Alex Slusher.
His third goal of the game.
The hard-charging Tiger of Rebellion. It's 9-3 Princeton.
His 5th assist of the game.
It may be finals week, but not right now in the rain. Tiger Nation is here. You know, Slusher, for all his skill, all his athleticism, like what jumps out at you, the will, the intensity.
Matt Madelon telling us he plays with the will of 10 men. 7 hat tricks now on the season. And Slusher's a guy, we've seen him, you can put him anywhere on the field. Positionless lacrosse, he fits into it.
I think he's best from that right-handed wing. It's kind of a slash style, shooting over 40% this season. His stat line kind of jumps out at me, you know, like 44 goals now and only 8 assists. But he's had a great year and be playing for Team USA in Ireland for head coach Nick Myers this summer. If you guys need an extra goalie coach, let me know.
I'd love to see Slusher take some shots on you.
Goalie coach, I said. I said goalie coach.
You know, get you in the cage a little bit too. Here's Tommy Bork.
No, the last time I jumped in, Clark lit me up like it was Christmas.
And he put it on TV. Perfetto has had no traction against Bond today. Now we're going to get a flag here on Bond. Perfetto fires, save, Peters.
Nice stop by Peters off the wet surface. That ball skimmed. Princeton bench didn't like this call, you can see.
Perfetto has only had 1 game in his career where he's been held without a point.
Technical foul, 17 white.
And Bond.
Push, 30 seconds. 17 white, push, 30 seconds.
This had everyone on the bench, including Bryce Chase, who's been their volunteer coach for 60 years, upset. There is an extension there, and maybe a hold, but you know Perfetto's working towards Broadway on that entire dodge. The bigger, stronger man gets penalized for winning at the point of attack.
Big shot by D'Alto. Another save by Peters. He stopped 11 out of 14.
Look at
Lazaretto. Here's Crimmins.
Nice handle. Nice handle.
And Crimmins and Pedersen. You got a couple of D middies.
It's an upgrade for Princeton, Anish.
Who began their career as offensive middies, and they can create for you.
Since the Tierney era, that's been an area of weakness for Princeton. It's the role playing, hard nosed. They've had good ones, but not like super stout 6'3", 200-pounders, guys who can run, and now they're deep in that department as well.
So you don't really look at Zach Currier then as a D midi?
Zach Currier was not a D midi, no.
Stevens?
Not a D midi.
Hasn't been one really this year. Mackesy, and there's Garber taking away the angle.
When you look at the Ivy this year, you know, Brown's D middies.
They've got some guys.
Trevor Yeboah, Cody. I love Piper Bond of Penn.
Tireless.
And you think about what Patrick Hackler's done for Yale and upgrading their defensive midfield.
Harrison Bardwell's been that guy for years for Cornell.
So I think across the board, the Ivy is on the improve at that position. And that bodes well in this tournament.
D'Alto lowering his shoulder. Angle denied. Ball dislodged.
Look at that, Finley standing tall.
Oh, this defense is fired up. Bond went right up to Finley.
Junior from Virginia, the righty, strong on the corner. Good fundamentals, a little toughness, and he gets to celebrate in front of his bench.
BU's attack came in averaging 13-plus points per game. Best attack trio in the country. In almost 7 quarters against Princeton, 4 points, none today. This one skirts wide off the cross of Mackesy. And they've only been held, Quint, this attack for BU to 5 shots. 5.
Well, Matt Madelon and his defensive coordinator, Jeremy Hirsch, 2010 Princeton Tiger defender, a great player now becoming an elite coach.
Brown's got 5 assists today, 6 in white. He had 7 the first time these two played. Ronda's got his man hung up. 2 goals for Ronda. Skip pass, Slusher with a step down.
I talked about the East-West, the attacking the weak side. Well, Princeton swings the ball so well this season, whether it's a wing dodge through X out the back side or whether it's what you just saw, the skip passes. And they capitalize on defensive over pursuing the ball.
Steady rain continues to pound the turf. Carson got a stick on it. And this will be not quite over and back. Nice play there by Finley. Shot clock, though, down to 6. Brown's got it. Shot clock at 2. And that's a shot clock violation. Quick restart here for BU. Final 50 seconds, quarter number 3. Princeton by 6. Quint, where has the transition been for BU today?
You know, and Princeton's a team I want to run on. While English is a two-way midi, I want to keep their offensive midfielders on the field as much as possible.
We haven't seen it. Niederinghaus against Pedersen. It's a lot of girth.
Don't get in a wrestling match with 23 in white.
Tommy Bork. Save Peters, a dozen.
If you protect the paint, Peters will bounce back to where he was in March, that high save percentage. He's was a Tuaraton top 25 candidate.
There's the ride by BU, but time runs out.
Princeton 9, BU 3.
That quarter was about Princeton's defense. That quarter was about George Bond digging in, Ben Finley. It was about Eric Peters making the stops he needed to make, and it was about their short stick defensive midfielders. Bo Pedersen, Luke Crimmins, Paul Wethington. Princeton's doing it with defense.
Want to manage COVID? Just pay for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Let's put COVID to rest.
Caparo Jewelers wants to buy your unwanted valuables. Jewelry, watches, gemstones, diamonds, coins, and more. We're buying at Caparo Jewelers Hidden Treasures Buying Event for 3 days only. We're flying in expert appraisers to give you money on the spot. Meet the appraisers May 16th through 18th to find out what your items are worth. It's 3 days only, so don't wait. Caparo Jewelers, come see what everyone is talking about.
Anae Schroff, Quint Kasnick, round 1, game 1. 9-3 Princeton. Quint, you said it going to break at the end of the third quarter. Princeton's defense has put its stamp on this first round game.
BU's attack trio leads the country in points per game. They've been silenced today. Is it still double bagels? BU has 21 shots. They average 45 per game. The Long Island Express has been grounded. There's no service right now to Massapequa Park, Amityville, Copeg, Lindenhurst, or Babylon.
The Long Island Express
the train
has a lot of
shut
congestion
down in Jamaica.
Yeah, a lot of
it's not
congestion.
even going to make it to Valley Stream, Lynbrook, Rockville Center, Baldwin, Freeport, Merrick. That was my line, baby.
Where's Oyster Bay on that line?
Seaford Oyster Bay is pretty far out. It's by Wantagh and Massapequa. I'm not sure I was allowed past Massapequa Park.
I'm surprised you were allowed even that far.
Like, the world was pretty small, Anish. It was like a little Valley Stream and a little Rockville Center. Maybe some Oceanside and Baldwin every now and then. But, like, beyond Freeport, that was the other side of the world.
Everyone getting their Long Island geography lesson.
BU's been smart. You know, one of their assistants, Mike Salippo, their offensive coordinator, has done great work recruiting the island.
They got a chance here for Princeton, and that's Billings in transition. First goal of the season for the sophomore out of Denver.
Princeton goal scored by number 3, Ace Billings. Giving assist on that goal to number 9, the goaltender, Eric Peters.
Eric Peters, the senior from Colorado, an econ major, going to be working in New York City. Extends, makes the pickoff, and then the strike. Big boy Billings rumbles. And he's not shown the respect, a little pump. And then well-placed sophomore from Kent, Denver. Good size. Can play a little LSM, can play some close. He's more of a natural pole.
Now, the only guy right now who might come up with the formula for a BU comeback used to live on 112 Mercer Street, not far from campus. That was Einstein. He's not alive. That's a problem. Vardaro goes at the shorty, beats him. Now picked up by Carson. Mackesy without a goal today. Feed right in front, Brown, and there's a big save by Garber. He stole one.
Dip and dunk, not today. Say Garber, the big senior. Large right-hander, Patriot League goalie of the year. Around 54%.
It started with the save. And a goal at the other end. 13-16 to go.
Peters got to shake that one off. From range, you know, there was a women's game here last night. Your Syracuse Orange were hosting Fairfield. And the score was similar to what it is right now. I think it was 11-6. Cuse was beating Fairfield. And Fairfield rumbled all the way back to take that game right to the wire.
How about the D-middies, Q?
So you never know. Again,
to Robert Gallup.
I want to attack Princeton in transition for two reasons. I want their middies to have to sprint back into the hole and play some defense. And then if their defense is winning the matchup today against the BU attack, well, find other ways to score.
Face-off violation on BU. Now you look at the goals for BU. The attack, nothing. Bork's got 2. He's a midi. Quadrino's got 1, and Gallup a D-midi with that last goal. He hadn't taken a shot all season prior to that goal. Chris Brown sandwiched, gets free, flag down, man up for Princeton.
He's still sitting on 99 career goals, right?
He knows it too.
The amazing story of Princeton lacrosse.
Red 55/1 minute. Red 55/1 minute.
They hired Bill Tierney in 1988. Who would have guessed that they'd have banner upon banner, Hall of Famer upon Hall of Famer. The Tigers were the standard, became the standard.
He turned Princeton from a nothing program into a blue blood.
Started with a signature way they defended. Sliding and double teams. They'd force people to their weak hands and turn them. And Bill Tierney revolutionized lacrosse defense. That 92 championship, Andy Moe winning in overtime up at Franklin Field.
No.
3 straight, 97, 96, 78. They'll be honored in Connecticut, championship weekend.
Think of the greats who've come through. Bacigalupo, Massey, Hubbard, Hess, Lowe, our colleague, Ryan Boyle.
Got to play with a lot of Princeton Tigers after college. Guys like David Morrow. Lawrence Smith ended my career, basically.
Here comes Bork. A hat trick for Tommy Bork. Time to give him number 77.
And BU has a little life here, okay? 5 goals, 11 minutes and a half. Their body language, their temperament on their bench. They just got to win a face-off. They're down in the face-off department. I believe it's 10-4 right now.
That's worse.
Tournament Tommy has been the guy since the injury to Jake Cates.
Number 91, Nick McFarland.
51, one of many odd numbers on this Terrier team.
He's got to be 77. His last name is Bork, and he plays for Boston.
They got a 77, an 81, an 87, an 88, a 91, a 71, a 66. I've never seen so many hockey numbers.
Well, they got Patrick Morrison wears 77. There he is right now. Bork's got to sweeten the pot for a jersey trade. It's 10-5, 2 straight for BU. First time they've scored.
All right, here we go. Scrap it up. This is what they're good at.
That's a big round ball.
And getting the ball off the carpet.
DeGoler. BU looked like it may have been offsides. It was close. Chance in transition, and the trail check. Mulshine. It'll stay with BU. A little juice now on that Terriers bench. 11:01 to go. Mulshine against Lay. James Corcoran. Jepson runs out of the box. Second midfield on. Jepson, Corcoran, Hilburn. Corcoran against Pedersen. Knocked to the ground. A man-up opportunity coming for BU. Free possession.
Tell you, Princeton with some hustle. Watch a trail check.
Mulshine.
Got him on the helmet a bit too, didn't he? And then the penalty, Pedersen. He likes to hook and lift. And I've seen him pitchfork guys out of the saloon all season long when he gets under you or catches an arm. He is quite an athlete. Park City, Utah. Gotta have this. Gotta have this, Anish.
Bork, 51. He's had the hot hand. 3 goals today. Was 0 for 10 in the first meeting against Princeton. Lay's got 3 man-up goals. BU has been 0 for with the extra man today. Wing shot, Perfetto erased. He has not solved George Bond. It will stay with BU. Back to even, 6-on-6.
Textbook closeout by Bond.
Hey, the Ivy defense, all season long in that league, it was much maligned. Do they play a lot of defense? Princeton has played defense. They've been the tougher team today. D'Alto picked up by Crimmins. Bond comes over to help. Into a triple team is Lay. Princeton's got the run out. English. And he will reset and retreat. Meyer. There's the takeaway. The nation's leader in cost turnovers. Roy Meyer. Donnie Howard the other way. Howard fires off target, and Princeton's got the backup. George Bond winning the hustle against D'Alto. Every time BU gets a little momentum, Princeton has an answer. Brown fires on the empty net. That would have been number 100. Mackesy has the backup. The pace of this game now, this is more to what BU wants.
Exactly, Anish. I was about to say, like, BU finally looks like BU.
It's not a 6-on-6 game anymore.
This team's been so fun to watch this season, causing turnovers, playing defense with their hair on fire, the highly productive attack.
We just haven't had that version today. Here's Stevens. He's always drawing that defense. Back to Brown. 5 helpers on the day.
It's man-to-man concepts. They're quick to double team. It's almost like a zone behind it.
Ronda's got 2 goals today.
You have to attack it like it is his own.
Mackesy lost it on the way to the cage.
Tell you, Mackesy came into this game on fire late in the season. 20 turnovers now for the Tigers, and this is not his best game. It's a tough time of year for freshmen in the Ivy League.
Yeah,
potential
BU.
freshman wall and finals.
Finals.
Reading and finals. There's a lot going on for these young men.
BU forces about 20 turnovers a game. Tournament Tommy. Here's Bork. He's a New Jersey kid.
Princeton actually respects him with a double team.
This one hits the turf, and Marquez White has it for Princeton. Trail check. Pedersen had it. He falls down. Meyer vacuums.
Candyman's got that handle, doesn't he?
He sure does.
The Candyman can. That ball's on the ground.
They've kept caused turnovers as a statistic beginning 2010. It's fairly new. The single season record is 70 by Brian Carlos, Villanova star. Hilburn shot saved by Peters. He saw it all the way. Roy Meyer, second on that all-time list for caused turnovers in a single season. 54 coming into the game today.
Peters bounces back today. Great to see after those two sub 40% games against Harvard and Cornell. So the last save he made, you could see the dew and the water coming off the pocket of his stick.
14 saves for Peters. Sean Cameron. Six minutes to go. Princeton's largest lead was 7 at 10-3. Brown's pass intercepted. Who else?
Guess who? Trailer for the Candyman.
The happy wanderer, Roy Meyer. Jet Jama. Peters didn't have to move.
Look at Peters.
In transition, it's Song. And Princeton will wait. They've got a 5-goal lead.
How about the hands for Eric Peters, man? Crossing over. He has been the backbone of this defense throughout the season. Great start to the year. Coach Madeline telling us he gave him the freedom to kind of create your own style. And the arc, it's a little more aggressive. He's got good hips, that high arc. Sometimes you can get lost in space on that high arc.
Explain what you mean by the high arc.
Well, you see the goal mouth in front of Garber. You know, a typical goalie will be, I don't know, half a foot off the goal line, back in with heels on the goal line. A style that Trevor Tierney here at Princeton really popularized. But Peters now, with shooters shooting the ball so fast, and him not being the biggest cat in the world, he's got to come out on a higher arc to take away some of those mid-range looks, to take away some net. More like a hockey goalie, approaching angle play.
Timeout by Boston U. Matt Madelon was telling us the defense in front of Peters had to be better today. 37 goals allowed in the previous two. George Bond has been a big part of that today, making the hustle plays. 10-5 Princeton.
Want to manage COVID? Just
the touches, double the reps, you play offense, you play defense. And there's the payoff. This guy can do a little bit of everything. And, man, he's made a push here in the
Crew out there will have some pretty good pizza. Winners will face off next week.
I love that
over
song.
on Long Island.
I love that song. Something about that song just like gives me the chills. Because what's ahead?
Generic bump music, but okay. NCAA men's lacrosse coverage continues next weekend for the quarters. The action begins Saturday, May 21st at noon Eastern on ESPNU. For more info on the 2022 Men's Lacrosse Championship, visit ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. BU doubles the ball. It doesn't matter. English breaks it. A hat trick for Sam. And it's 11-5 Tigers.
That's his third goal of the game.
He's a classic midfielder. Two-ended success, really good on grounders off the wing of face-offs. Ontario native. You know, young Canadians, when they play indoor, they learn to do it all. It's 5-on-5. So when you're 8 years old, you get double the touches, double the reps. You play offense, you play defense. And there's the payoff. This guy can do a little bit of everything. And, man, he's made a push here in the last couple weeks of the season.
Kobe Ginder taking the face-off for Princeton. Jax Popovich for BU. Ginder 7 of 19. Older brother Jordan played at Duke. Popovich, a Richmond transfer. He's only taken 11 face-offs this season, and Ginder able to win it. Ginder missed some time this year with a dislocated elbow. Princeton has won 15 out of 18 face-offs, now 16 out of 19 with that last one.
It's a good showing. That would be one area in this tournament where there's some question marks in terms of some of the Ivy League schools. The conference didn't really have like a dominant Fogo.
And no Kyle Gallagher, no T.D. Erlin.
There's, in my estimation, there's only 3 great Fogos in the tournament right now. Luke Weirman of Maryland, Petey LaSala, and James Riley.
Second effort, it's there for Rondo off the rebound. Now BU selling out right now. Goalie's out, they're doubling the ball, and Princeton is putting the nail in this one. Ronda with a hat trick. 20 goals on the season for the junior.
He'll be an important part of the puzzle for Matt Madelon, and offensive coordinator Jim Mitchell has done just such wonderful work this year. The first time you turn this team on early in the year, whether it was their Georgetown win or even their Maryland loss, I think they shot like 10 of 23 against Maryland. And the thought, I remember writing, like, this team's going to score goals this year.
Yeah.
And Ronda going forward, Anish, he's an X factor, because we know that English, we know that Brown, you know, everybody else is going to pull on the rope.
You watch this Princeton team, if the defense can carry over into the quarters, this is a team with its scoring prowess can get to championship weekend.
I agree. The shot clock era favors offense. If Peters is protected like he has been today, he's as good as anybody in the nation.
You start looking ahead. It'll be Yale or St. Joe's for Princeton in the quarters. They played Yale in the regular season up in New Haven, lost 14-12.
Look at
Peters, that's his best save of the game. 15 out of 20 today.
Up around 74%.
That's Crimmins. And it will be Princeton ball. Mackesy still diving and hustling with his team up 7 and 3:02 left.
I think that's the rule that's going to have to be reinvestigated. You go 10-man, they take a 70-yard shot and sail it way wide of the goal, and yet it's the offense's ball. Maybe a shot taken on the defensive end of half field should have a different rule than a shot taken in across the midline. Just
now the counter argument would be, hey, if you're going to 10-man and going to leave the net open, why not let a team shoot from there? I mean, that's clearly a shot. He was shooting.
Yeah, but
goal.
It's so easy just to fling it towards the net and then back it up. Empty net again, Garber out. Looks like Princeton's just going to take the time.
Yeah, up 7. They're going to take this to the finish line. Richmond, Penn, Yale, St. Joe's to follow this game. And then Brown, Virginia, in what Lars Tiffany called a lubricated Providence. The nightcap tonight. That'll be fun.
If you're a fan, you'll have the app going all day and you take these games with you.
What's your takeaway from Princeton's performance today?
As advertised, the good Princeton showed up. The time off did them well. As we said earlier, they came into this game having lost the last 2 games of the season, giving up a lot of goals. But they had fresh legs today. We know they can score. I like the depth of defensive contribution.
And they never let BU get on any sustained run. You look at the last 2 games, Cornell scored 8 goals in the first quarter. In the loss to Harvard, Harvard scored 8 in the fourth quarter. At the end of the day, this is a Princeton team. Their 13 regular season games included 9 teams that are in this NCAA tournament. They went 6-3 against the field. They beat 4 seeded teams. Nobody won more against seeded teams than Princeton.
And today a special day. It's been a while since this Princeton Tiger program. They got as many banners hanging here as any team in the country. It's been a while since they tasted victory in the playoffs.
My last national championship was 2001. That was Boyle to Prager against Syracuse. We get a timeout. 49 seconds to go.
This is your last home game as a senior. You soak it up with your family and your friends.
We said it early in the broadcast. That is the theme of this.
Bracket will create, or they have control of their own legacy. And the most special thing about winning is you get to go to practice next week. You get to spend time with your friends. You get to play in a big game that matters.
Still hustling after the ground balls. And that will be over and back. And we get a flag.
Red, cross check, 1 minute, reset the shot clock to 60, please.
Number 20, Will Carson, 1 minute for a cross check at 21 seconds.
Brave fans, you got some of those gold chains, those jersey gold chains here.
What do you expect? Princeton will run out the clock. A season that saw the Ivy League come back to life after not having games last year. 6 teams in the tournament field, and Princeton marks its return to glory with its first NCAA tournament win in more than a decade. The defense and Eric Peters set the tone. Sam English had a hat trick. Chris Brown 5 assists. They derailed BU's Long Island Express, and it's Princeton headed to the island next week for the quarterfinals.